another video. And first of all, you might be wondering why I have a different background today. Well, I've just got a tripod, so I'm using it, and this is going to be my new location on my leopard print wall, yay! So this video is going to be a ways to revise video. As I'm coming up to my mock exams, which is next week, I thought I'd do a ways to revise video to help all you guys to revise and pass those exams. So, first of all, let's do the quote jar. Quote jar. Hey! Let's see what we've got. Dreams are only dreams until you wake up and make them real. I have to stretch further now. There we go. So yeah, that's today's video quote. I'm not as close to my camera anymore, so I can't like just reach straight there. So, ways to revise. One way I like to revise is by memorising what I have to remember. Well, that's why it's remembering. But sometimes it's hard when like note-taking, or maybe that's just not the way for you. So I learn a lot of scripts, so the easiest way is, so say if I need to remember what a nucleus is. So it contains genetic information that controls the activities of the cell. So if I need to learn that, I'd break it up, so nucleus, and I'd say that a few times, so nucleus, nucleus, and then contains genetic material, not information, contains genetic material. And once I've got that in my head, then I'd go, nucleus, contains genetic material, and like close my eyes or close the book while I'm trying to remember it. So, that controls the activities of the cell, that contains the activities of the cell, and then put it all together, nucleus contains the genetic material that controls the activities of the cell. So I like to do it like that, doing it all, so remember it like a script then. So, first way is to remember it, but don't try and learn big lumps at a time, so this whole paragraph say. Do it sentence by sentence. You'll learn it much easier and much faster. Another way I like to revise is by note-taking, which I know is a very common way of revising. So I've got my revision guide in front of me. I recommend getting all the revision guides you can, guys, because they are so helpful, or anything that you missed in class you can get from the revision guide. So we'll use the same example again. So literally I either write it out word for word if I know nothing about it, or in these revision guides, the one I have, it underlines the key words. So I'll put nucleus, I'll obviously put a title, so cells, and then nucleus dash genetic material I'll literally put that, because you can remember it from that. But if you don't know that, then write out the whole sentence. But you know nucleus holds the genetic material. So you can write notes, or you can write out the whole sentences, but I really do recommend getting the revision guides, and these are the key words, and I know for science exams you need to know the key words to get extra marks, so try and remember the underlined words. Another good way to revise, guys, is by writing out all the information you need on a couple of sheets of paper. So say it's science again, so you've written out everything you need to know about the exam, for the exam, so you've wrote it all down, and it could take a couple of pages. So then you limit yourself and do it to one A4 sheet. So you write all your information on this one A4 sheet, and you try to make all your notes shorter and smaller so it's easier to memorise, but you still know all the information you need to know. So once you've got it all on one A4 sheet, you then limit yourself to an A5, which is half an A4 sheet. Wait, I'll rip out my piece of it. So you've got it all on this, not obviously wrote anything, all on this A4 sheet. Then you have to get it on to half, limiting your notes again, but still remembering everything you need to know. Then you'll fold it again. Doesn't have to be on the same fold, will it? And then you try and get everything on this sheet, which is, I don't know, A6 to PVS. And then each time you keep getting smaller and smaller and see if you can remember all of the notes you need to know. It's a good way to revise because you're not loading loads of information into your brain that you can't handle, because if you've got loads of other subjects to memorise as well, then it's a lot to take on. So if you're limiting yourself to smaller and smaller, it's easier for you to revise because you've just got this small little sheet to revise from, which you can carry with you everywhere as well, so it's ideal as well. So that's another good way to revise. So guys, another good way to revise is by recording your notes. So, for example, I've got my animal cells here. I've put them all into small categories so it's easier for me to memorise. So animal cells, which is the one we've been doing. Animal cells contain a nucleus, contains genetic material that controls the activities of the cell. A cytoplasm, gel-like substance where most of the chemical reactions happen. It contains... So that's just the part on animal cells, but I find recording my voice really useful because I can listen to it wherever I am, as long as I've got my phone, which I always do. I can listen to it wherever I am. I can memorise it that way because I memorise it in the way that I've said my voice. This is useful for remembering scripts, anything you need to remember, but I love recording my voice for it. It really helps me. So yeah, I've got all of them here. Leaf cells, guard cells, but it's better if you're trying to remember to put it in small points, because if it's like a massive lecture, you don't really want to listen to it. So I've got my loads. So that's another useful way to revise. Another good way to revise is by doing lots of past papers. Past papers are really good to do as they have the style of questions that you will have in the exam. So with maths, for example, or with science especially, I find them good, as with science, when memorising it, it's not exactly how it's going to come in the test, so it shows you the different ways that it could actually come up in the real exam. So you can tend to get them on, I'm an AQA board, so I can just go on the AQA website on past papers, and it has all past papers on there, and you can just revise them all, print them off, or you can even just look at the questions and write down the answers. So that's also a good way to revise past papers. Another great way to revise is by iPhone apps. Now I love these apps. They're like the revision guides but on your phone, and they have little games or tutorials. They're just great ways to revise on the go, and it has all the information you need. So I do AQA, GCSE Additional Science. Now this app, I recommend it to all you guys. I'm in the red because I've hardly ever used it at this moment because I've not had any tests, but now I do. And whatever board you're on, you can choose which one. So I'm AQA, so I'll go back to AQA. And then it's set out like this. So this is the first unit. It's AQA, B to A, cells, organs and populations. And then best of 10. So you have different questions. What is the name for the process where perfume particles spread out in the air? Diffusion. So then I've got it right. And then you carry on like that, and then at the end, I'll just pick some random ones. I'm looking at the question and I'm literally just pressing it, guys. Right, so I got 4 out of 10, but I weren't actually doing it. But review answers, and then you can go through and it will give you an explanation and what the correct answer was. So that's a good one, but I love this part the most, sudden fail. You have loads of questions, the same again. so this one's proteins. But if you get it wrong, then you straight away fail. You can review your answers like that. I find this one better than best of 10 purely because you know instantly if you've gone bad or not, if you've died or got the answer wrong. So you instantly can learn the question, and then it tends to come up straight away after, which is a good technique so you can learn it. And then there is time trial as well, so you've got a certain amount of time to answer a certain amount of questions, because you do have a certain amount of time in the exam, so I think that's really useful as well. And then you have question and answer cards. And then these are set out more like exam question style, so then you reveal the answer and it's a proper big question, and then you can say if you kind of got it right or not, and then at the end it comes up with how many you've got right, how many you've got wrong, and what you kind of got right, and then you can go over it again until you get them all right, which is really useful. So that's the GCSE additional science, and you can get GCSE core science as well, and I had that last year. Really liked that, so that's why I got this one. I'm sure it's only £1.50 the app, but it's really good. I have the revision guide as well, but I really use this app more. And I've just got this one, Colin's Maths app. There's 4 others you can get, but this is the algebra one, as I was struggling on algebra. So this cost me £2.50, and you choose which area you want. So say if I want formula, expressions and linear equations, solving equations with brackets, and with some of them you can watch the basics, a tutorial.
Using letters in algebra.
Well, it speaks to you, and then you can revise it, and it tells you step by step how to work out the question or how to do these style of questions, and then you can practice them. So it gives you a few questions. So this is a brand new app that I've just got today, but I think it's a really good way to revise. Post-it notes can work as wonders. They are just great. You can use post-it notes in 2 different ways. You can write a question on them, and then on the other side the answer. So every time you pass them you can answer the question and then answer it, see if the answer's right. Or you can write keynotes on there that you need to know and just stick them all over your wall, stick them everywhere. So hopefully guys, I've helped you find a different way to revise that's more useful and will help you remember what you need to remember. So that's it for today's video guys. Bye! Don't forget to subscribe, like and share and comment. Bye!